There you go.
What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent, which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth, that Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said his Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid.
Did we ever,
I confess I'd never given it much thought
figure
before.
out
Here,
any
the Sovereign's total authority is
backstory
as
on
natural as
Volron?
night turning to day.
And how
Come to think of it, I know nothing of the
he's
nature of how
basically
Rena itself is.
sovereign too?
Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you getting at, Dohalim?
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself. No one but the Sovereign, that is.
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought
this
you
is
said
getting
that the
kinda weird.
Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away? What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though, it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent. As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Danon. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganath Haros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you?
Also,
the ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma.
Volron
the same one that the Red
got
Woman
stabbed
stole.
with a
There's
spear
something else
of
the
magma.
ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless
I
there's
guess
another one out there
if you're
aside from me...
really tough, you could
Questions,
survive it,
questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered, until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
Then it's
We should play a
decided.
drinking game where
That's where we
you
need
take a
to go.
shot for every
One
time
of
they
the
say
citizens
sovereign.
mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction. Let's go find it.
Woo! Oh, hey, you like cutscenes? I like
I
cutscenes.
didn't realize Renans
watch
rest
another
their own
one.
kind, too.
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Danon city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build
We're not
an
really gonna
ideal
do that.
society
That would be
without wealth.
that'd be terrible.
But I suppose
It'd be
having
a
it
bad
doesn't always
time.
mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed.
Alright.
I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
Yeah, I'm gonna blow my nose real quick.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
Alright.
I do.
I don't like blowing
It's
my
called
nose
friendly
on
intimidation.
camera. It's not a fun
Look
thing
imposing
to
and
look at.
speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it! How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Now you've got me curious. Is there special
Wait,
training
wasn't
to master?
this one of the interactions from the demo?
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm
I
just
think I
helping
remember
them
this.
along.
This sounds kind of familiar.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
Oh god. Alright. We done? We be done? Okay. Apparently not.
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do. I mean, they're sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I feel like I should say something, but I feel like I shouldn't at the same time. Let's go. What's up? Is there something I'm missing?
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now. Balsif, Ganabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals?
This is easily the worst part of the game for me. It was mainly 3 hours of cutscenes and skits.
Every
Oh my
lord in
God.
their household has their share of supporters here on
Holy,
Lenegis.
this is a
And
lot.
luckily
Like
for us,
the game
the
usually
people
does
here
have
are
a
unaware of the events on
good amount of
Dana,
cutscenes.
which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
But yeah, like I basically since we fired it up and we were about to get on the ship, we had to talk to each character. And then from there, we basically had nothing but cutscenes, talk to each character on the ship. So yeah. Oh, oh boy, that's good to know. I appreciate you telling me though, because I can mentally prepare for it. No, it'll be cool, guys. We'll watch some cutscenes, you know. I'll go downstairs and I'll make you know, like food. I'll go use the bathroom. I'll do my taxes. I'll walk the dog, and we'll probably still have time to watch the majority of the cutscenes. Wait. Oh, wait, that was his name? Teldillies?
Yes!
Yes! Oh my god, I hate that. I have no idea what the fuck they were thinking. I think this is the biggest thing that was affected by production during pandemic. Ah, that would make sense. You sounded pretty bummed out from the skits and cutscenes. That's why I was like, maybe I should say something. No, I kind of complained just because, like, it's all in, like, you know, good fun. I know what I'm getting into with JRPGs, but, like, I will say, like, the skits and the cutscenes, when you do them back to back, I usually keep it, I upload the recordings to YouTube, and I have sometimes, like, if it's like a 30-minute recording where I don't even actually do anything, there's no actual gameplay happening, which is kind of funny. But no, it's not that big a deal. Alright, let's go talk to this chick again. Yes! Oh, AIDS. I've never seen any Tales games with as bad as it. Oh, really? But by the time I was done and finally had full gameplay, I think there was 4 hours that elapsed. Wow. Oh boy. Well, it's all good, honestly. I'm just kind of skimming through this because they're just trying to figure out a little bit more information. He's just like listening to her. He's just like listening to her. He's just like with his glasses. All right, I'm not reading this. So how does she know, like, this much about him?
I guess she intended to spread it throughout
the
all of
lords are like,
Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines
like
were down so she
celebrities
couldn't.
to these
It
people.
almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from
Since I wanted to
commenting.
listen to all the dialogue first time through, yeah. I mean, I'm definitely like the stuff like where they're speaking. Like I pay a little bit more attention to. But yeah, for the most part, a lot of it does kind of feel like kind of fillerish, which I don't mind stuff like that. But it's just like I think if you have it spread out, like well enough, like you could easily fit those 3 hours of cutscenes as long as there's like maybe a battle here or something like that. Valkyris.
What?
Almadria. Yeah, Almadria was actually a fucking psycho. I will say though, Almadria threw me off so much in that animated cutscene where she seemed like really, really passive and stuff, like just like, please stop, and then like then she flipped the script. Yeah, the issue is that it's not spread out. I've never seen pacing go full stop like this, at least in any Tales game. At least not 4 hours worth. Oh, fuck. Yeah, she got you. I definitely didn't expect that. Like, I knew she was gonna be, as soon as I saw her, I recognized her from the opening cutscene. But, yeah, she, I was not ready for that. I'm like, oh my god, maybe something happens to her that makes her crazy, and then like I'm like, oh no, she's acting. She's actually a psycho bitch. Okay, so we spoke to everybody. Now where do we have to go for
Doesn't
that
that
quest?
seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
Alright. So let's go finish this up. That cutscene was brutal. It was crazy. I wasn't expecting it. I mean, I guess if all their food has been treated with the fruit, and she was like getting them to get all excited. Like some of the actual like the faces, like the people in the crowd were like making, like they all looked like possessed. It's pretty powerful of a scene. I think maybe we finish it over here. I don't fucking know. When everyone hollowed, I was like, oh shit, yeah. Had a bad feeling once I saw them looking like, yeah. As soon as they were doing that, you kind of knew what was going on. Like, and you could,
This area doesn't look as
you
badly
also just by
damaged as
looking
the
at
Lenegis.
Alphen and how much he was freaking out, like running through, trying to get people to stop. You're like, oh shit, it's gonna go down. All right, so we have one person over there.
This area was simply luckier.
Sheep meat. Okay. I swear to God, if this guy says yes. Yes.
Ridiculous.
Volron.
Okay.
Wandriel. Holdiers. Myself. Huh. Wait. Can we just talk about the hypocrisy of that statement this man just made? He's upset because Volron enslaves the Renans too, along with the Danans. Oh, so that he doesn't actually have like high status lineage, at least that they know of. I wouldn't be surprised if Volron is like some kind of like test tube baby or something like that.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganath Harrows changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary.
Huh.
Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
So there was a different Water Lord, and Volron probably killed him.
Pardon me.
Everyone's talking to the NPCs. Even talking to the NPCs of that city, you could tell something was about to go down. It was an eerie atmosphere. Oh, hell yeah. Dude, punch this chick right in the face. Wow. Almadria is a sick fuck. Dude, Almadria, man. Like, don't feel bad for her at all.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
Yeah.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too.
Nah, they weren't people.
Balsif and the others, they all had their own
Bunch of shit
circumstances to deal
stains.
with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute
I mean,
that.
Hitler
But at the same
probably
time,
had,
they
you know,
weren't
family members that cared about him.
monsters either.
But, you
They
know,
were individuals,
he's still a monster.
just like the rest of us.
Just saying.
So I guess what I'm trying
They
to
tried
say
to
is,
humanize all the lords
You're
except
saying that
for
they weren't bad
Psycho
because they were
Bitch.
Renans,
Yeah,
or because they were terrible monsters.
it is true.
Even if they did terrible
Almadria,
things,
she
they were still just people.
Rinwell.
she just did shit that like
Am
she
I
didn't
wrong?
have to, like going through and
not at all.
killing all of
Being
Rinwell's
a Danon
family.
doesn't make
Like
you
they're
a good
living,
person.
they're living in caves
And being a
underground or
Renan
whatever,
doesn't
like
make you
not
a bad
bothering
one.
anyone.
I think that's something we've all seen.
Shion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
See, you know what I think? I think everyone should play this game. You could all learn a lesson from this right now, everyone. All right, so where are we running to? Lenegis. Balsac was at least nice in Lenegis. Yeah, it's kind of I saw that that guy was saying that, and I'm like, no. Balsac was like your stereotypical JRPG, like big, like loud, obnoxious, like first boss, you know? Like he has all the working parts. And yes, we did call him Balsac since day one. He's always gonna be Balsac to me. Alright, let's see. Cool. Yeah, these guys are just like, yeah, I don't really know what's going on. Like, you know, the world is kind of like consuming itself and things are like on fire. And Izugul
There's
just
something
ate
I
my
just don't
4-year-old,
get.
but, you know,
What is it?
this
The
is just the
crown
way it
contest
is.
itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena
Well,
should
yeah,
be whoever it
Failnaugh's
was that
airship.
won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
actually like the name Fall Knights.
So,
It
who
sounds
was
kind
it
of
then?
cool.
Hanfricht Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfricht whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegis?
Wouldn't that be crazy
I
if
guess over
after you
Holocom,
win,
maybe,
they like
but
take
not
you
in
to
the
Rena
flesh.
and then like
Same
some
thing
other
goes for the
power
sovereign that came before
is
him.
like doing something fucked
Now
up
that
to
you
you, like
mention
you're like
it,
enslaved
I don't
or like
recall
they're like
anyone ever
draining your
visiting
energy
Lenegis
or
from the
they're doing
motherland,
something crazy.
sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
Like it's all this big joke, like over the
When
last
you live
300
here,
years, basically,
It's as
like
if you're
whoever ends up
conditioned
winning
not
is
to notice
basically
all these
sacrificed or
strange
something.
quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
Yeah.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renin by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master
See,
Core
like
existed,
the biggest
remember?
lesson you should
With
take
any
from this
luck,
game
the
is
Forbidden
that
Zone
you shouldn't
might
be
give
a
us some
sheep
answers.
who just
No use
does
standing around here
whatever you're
chatting
told
about it, then. Let's get
and
a
never
move on.
thinks to ask questions. Like, how is it that no one's just been like, yeah, you know what's weird? After, like, they win the Sovereign contest, like, they just, like, disappear. It's fine. Alright, what do you got to say? Okay. Alright. Well, I guess... Holy shit, man.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
She looks different.
Why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position
Oh,
as
that was
Lord,
that chick?
you still... kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
So that was the chick that, like, got all
Oh,
upset
of
with him.
course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
But didn't the other guy, like, he didn't
If
want to
killing
fight
me will
him.
bring
The
you
other guy
peace,
was coming at
and so be it.
him.
Dohalim!
Are you a
What the
fucking
hell
idiot?
are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion.
Irrational bitch.
Let me finish what I came to do.
Yeah, that's our party.
I will let you
That's
do
like the
whatever
perfect
brings
emote
you
for him right
peace.
now. They all have like the deal with it sunglasses. Somebody kicked that chick.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else.
You know what's really funny?
You're just a coward!
Like, if he's a coward, what about the guy that you got all upset that he killed? I mean, he killed the dude, you know? Like... What the fuck? Every time I see that chick, I'm just not ready for it.
Dohalim.
Holy shit.
I apologize
This
that you
red
had to
woman
witness that.
is the stuff of nightmares. Absolutely. When she did the teleportation
Is it
thing,
true? What
and
she
like
said
I wasn't
about you
expecting it. I
killing
actually
someone?
screamed like, "What the fuck?" Like,
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
again,
The
but if he
mistakes
was
I
like,
made there were not my
Dohalim
first,
didn't want to
and
fight
may
him,
not
and if
be
the
my
guy kept
last.
attacking him,
I
like,
will say no more.
how was she mad at him? Was
Did you
Dohalim
mean
just
what
supposed
you
to die?
said? About letting her
Stupid
take
bitch.
your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Literally makes no sense.
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of
NPC
expiring
logic.
before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Yeah, man. Like, we were just having like a really good time. Like, everything's all kumbaya, and like, even Shion's laughing and smiling, and then Dohalim has to bring everybody down. I guess right here. Oh, these cutscenes. Alright. I know where the red woman is. She's over here. Let's go fight her right now. She's back here. No. What do you guys have to say? I see this and I just imagine this guy's voice sounding like screeching, and it's making this guy freak out like that. Alright. So cut